Extreme Rules 2020 and 2021, Royal Rumble 2022, Hell in a Cell 2022. These are pay-per-views that featured Seth Rollins, the heel. This version of Seth Rollins was a relentless heel who would do anything to get under his opponent's skin while still being charismatic and chaotic. He was so good at it that he got under Roman Reigns' skin, someone who kayfabe-wise was at the top of his game. He was like if the Joker decided to put on some wrestling boots and torment every wrestler on the roster without anything to gain. From wearing gear or using music that would get into his opponent's minds to almost taking out his opponent's eye, there was nothing he would not do. I loved that Seth Rollins. He seemed as though he had found his spot in the roster and was finally a unique heel. But something changed. Sometime after his feud with Cody Rhodes, he naturally began to have fans behind him again, and people began to cheer for the Architect even though he was still the heel. Hell, he was still out there calling Riddle a loser of a father and a bitch on national TV and wearing RVD gear to further mess with Riddle, and he was getting cheered. This antagonizing was so enjoyable to watch. I really like seeing a character get under their opponent's skin like that. And typically, I can get behind this kind of heel too, as you can obviously see that fans were cheering for him as well. And because it's fun to watch, you like to see, that kind of person being an asshole that sometimes you wish you could be that asshole to somebody. So it was really nice to see. But then WWE had the opportunity to, elevate Seth as this heel who had nothing else to gain but just to watch the world burn. But they decided to take a sharp turn left and make him a babyface again. And they put him in the feud with Austin Theory and Robert Lashley. During this feud, Seth would play the instigator between the three wrestlers, getting to keep doing his old antics of riling his opponents up and getting under their skin, calling Theory a kid, getting under Bobby's skin with the whole Brock stuff that he was dealing with. And that was fun to watch. But there was this new element to this character that just did not resonate with me. His song. His goddamn song. Don't get me wrong, I love his current theme, but what I do not like is that it has become his gimmick to the point that it feels like anytime he would come out, that was the only thing he seemed to care about. Instead of getting under his opponent's skin and causing chaos like he would, instead now he's coming out, doing a little dance and listening to people sing his song until someone else would come out, interrupt him, and he would want to fight him. Basically what Elias's gimmick was. It feels like we had lost this three-dimensional heel that was always two steps ahead and instead gained a two-dimensional babyface that just wanted to hold the big belt and be a fighting champion. Sound familiar? It sounds familiar to me because it sounds like the old Seth Rollins that is back with no depth. But this time he's rocking Elton John's closet and is obsessed with choir music. And to my case, this has made him overrated.
But since this new era of Seth Rollins has happened, some great things have happened for him. He was a US champion, is currently the new World Heavyweight Champion, and is getting to prove why he is the top guy for the promotion and deserves to hold the title.
Right now, WWE as a whole could not be better. We have long-term storylines on almost all the shows with characters that people can resonate with. We got Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes, just to name a few. And that's not even naming the heel work that is happening on these shows right now as well. These guys are telling interwoven stories while never needing to hold a belt or have to rely, they're not even having to rely on a gimmick to get over. They are just real people telling real stories, and that is exciting in itself. Meanwhile, Seth feels like he has nothing that resonates with me and feels stuck at the top with a belt that no one on the roster seems to want or care to have. Sure, we have Nakamura currently tormenting Seth's back and gunning for the belt, but the belt is not coming off Seth anytime soon, and Nakamura will most likely float into the ether once again, waiting for relevancy. So who would step up after, Nakamura? Would it be Finn? Damian? Gunther? None of these men will be the ones to step up next because, like the faces I mentioned, they are already deep into long-term stories that do not need to involve Seth or the World Heavyweight Championship. That belt will come into play into these people's stories, but it'll be at a later date, most likely when Seth is out of the picture. This is a problem that I have once referred to in the past as the Seth Rollins problem. When Seth is a face, he only wants to be a fighting champion, and the stories usually revolve him overcoming odds or being the best wrestler, currently. When Seth is a heel, however, like he was before, he's able to do the best character work and be a conniving instigator that will find your insecurities and push you until the bell rings. And then from there, he can win or lose because he is the heel, and heels will always stay relevant. I think the only way to get Seth back on track and ultimately elevate that title again is to turn him heel and then have a new group of people that he can fight. By turning him heel, he'll have people like Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, or anyone in the mid-card or on NXT could be an opponent for Seth in the future. And you don't need to change Seth's theme. I like it, people like it, it's a good theme. However, it can now be used as more of an annoyance to his opponent than an annoyance to me. This is my first video talking about wrestling, so let me know what your thoughts are on my thoughts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell so you know when I'm going to upload a new video. Other than that, my name is Tim, and I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you next time.